This is crazy.
All right, welcome back to the Woman Show, to the Springers Radio Show. We live here. We got our second guest here, Miss Sina Washington.
Hi.
So, how are you? How you doing?
I'm doing well.
Yes.
How you doing?
I'm doing good. Being blessed by God. You know, God's kept me for us for this pandemics, and there's been a lot going on, but we gotta stay focused on what God wants to do for us. You know, God, He wants to do for God. You know, so. So how was your week? How was the first week of September?
It's doing well. It's been busy. I feel like this is just a moving,
Right.
month. I feel like, the year is almost over, so.
I know.
It's like whatever you're trying to do, stay focused.
Right.
A focus month.
So before we get into you, I gave you a shout out on my earlier show about you coming on that Saturday to the community grab and go.
Okay.
And then I wasn't able to be here. Like, I figured my guy here, you just left, so I saw you giving flyers about your new book. So we'll talk about that later. About your book that you're gonna have published coming out soon. It says get woke. I mean, it's interesting. I won't get into that later, but so what has your perspective been going on in terms of social justice going on, all the violence going on in a city alone, Philadelphia, and have you kind of conversations with your children about it? So I want you to know your perspective on that.
In terms of the social justice, the first thing that comes to my mind is it's been a long time coming. It's been a long time coming, and it's more than unfortunate, but I truly believe that it's something that just had to happen. And if not now, then when?
Right.
If not now, then when? And it's just the beginning. It's just the beginning. In terms of talking to my son and other youth, about the violence, about all the things that's happening, just being honest with him, being honest with the youth, giving them wisdom, how to navigate. I actually was just a part of a Zoom with the youth, with the city. You actually invited me to be.
Oh, the one on Tuesday.
Yes.
Okay.
And I got to hear a lot of the concerns that many of them was talking about, and one of the number one things that they were discussing was the guns and the violence that was on the streets.
Access to guns.
Yeah, and so it's a big concern amongst, especially young males, in terms of the availability of guns, and that's just, a lot of youth are running rampant, with guns right now during this time. So it's definitely something we need to address on a larger scale.
Right.
Especially if the youth feel concerned to even talk about it themselves.
Right. And plus, then they had Wednesday, 17-year-olds got murdered, and then you had another two were shot last night in West Philadelphia. So it's a lot going on there. There was a news story about a kid that was on a Zoom call, had a gun in his hand. So I was like doing a Zoom class. So
wow.
I think it was like diving or something like that. I was like, what's going on? It's like, it's crazy.
Not diving.
Yeah.
No.
They were like a Zoom. And so,
wow.
yeah, they saw the video. He was on video holding a gun, like a guitar. So I'm like, really? Like, so it's like a lot going on. It's a lot of like solution. I think the access to guns is going crazy because I think like it's like every other day you hear something about youth being shot. You know what I mean? It's like it's not right because, and a lot of people say like, oh, it's no resources here, nothing to do. Yes, it is something to do, but it's like we have all these resources here, but you're not taking fans opportunity to invest in them or ask them to find out, hey, what's yours about? What mine is about? Find out what can provide for the youth so they won't have to be in the streets or worry about getting guns like that. So it's been a lot going on, but we gotta keep it in prayer. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
But at that time we can't tolerate lip service anymore. We gotta be some work done.
There has to be some work done.
Yeah, you can't give a solution, not just protests and marches. That's cool and all, but it does make sense. But has to be solutions to go on all those marches. Okay, you're gonna put in place now that if something happens again, people who do this will hold
consequences.
Consequences. Hold accountable for it. And then also help the family too with mental health and trauma and help them get through that because that's not easy. Having your son and daughter be shot, and you got to change your whole life around. You got to deal with possibly a funeral, hospital expenses, or you don't have insurance. You know what I mean? Just deal helping the family get through that part. Is actually the transition part. So there's a lot to pray for, and let's
it's a not to pray for.
Yes.
I mean, that's like, and you know, when we talk about prayer, you know, that means different things to different people.
True.
Prayer is action, whether people see it or not. Because everything that's happening, especially right now, the climate is spiritual.
True.
It's spiritual. It's more than just what we see in front of us. And so, you know, those prayers going up, you know, and being intentional about speaking the kind of world we want to see. That's what we got to do. That's a part of it. You know, that's a part of it.
Right, exactly. So for the audience that's watching, I don't know you personally, but who is Sina Washington? Who is Sina?
First of all, this is like wearing me out. I want to say.
It's fine.
I'm so cautious though.
6 feet. I mean, right here. I'm right here. So.
You said who's Sina Washington? I'm like, wait, I gotta take this off. Who am I? I am a woman of many different colors, man. Like you know, who am I? You know, where do you want me to begin? You know, I am a very passionate individual. You know, I'll start there. I'm a very passionate individual. When I say I'm colorful, I mean literally, like I see the world in color. I see life in color. You know, the possibilities of life. My life message is there's beauty in everything.
Right.
You know, and I truly believe that. You know, and so I'm a woman who helps individuals, helps teens, youth, communities, families find the beauty in all things. Because life is a mixture of everything intentionally. Right. And so it's our job to see the beauty in life. That's who I am. And I'm an artist. I had 15 years in the beauty industry as a beauty artist. I have 25 years in arts and culture. I'm a graduate of the Creative and Performing Arts High School here in Philadelphia, a theater major. I'm a theater kid. I grew up going to the Freedom Theater right there at Gordon Master my whole life, acting, singing, dancing. So creativity is the core of who I am.
Right.
I'm a mother. I have an 11-year-old son who will be 12 this month.
Woo, man.
Yeah, my big boy. And you know, that's really the center of my focus, you know, and everything that I do. My son right now is really, he's getting older, you know, it's things that he's questioning, things that he wants to know. And so, you know, I'm just making sure that I'm investing in him, investing in things that helps to shape our life, you know, especially during this time in a good and positive way.
Right.
Yeah.
So you mentioned Freedom Theater, and I was going there a lot too for shows, and my cousins were part of Freedom Theater. I don't know, you probably know them, but their names were Courtney and Tracy. They were sisters. They're sisters.
No.
No.
Nah, I was talking a long time ago.
I thought it was like 90s.
Yeah, well, like 80s, 90s.
They would go there, if they go there for training, they would go there for Saturday trainings for youth. So, but they were part of Freedom Theater for about, I think, about 10 years.
Okay.
Yeah,
I probably know them.
You probably know them, because they twins now. So. Okay. And my cousin.
I was long gone.
Okay. I was saying 90.
I'm a lot mature than I look.
Right. So you had you started this foundation called, a movement called I'm a Vessel Youth Movement. So what made you decide to start that, and why you started it?
Oh man, that was an accident. If I'm being honest.
Go ahead.
A good one though, a good accident.
Right.
I'm a Vessel is I'm a Vessel, and then it's I'm a Vessel Youth Movement Initiative, which is a nonprofit organization. How that began was I owned a beauty salon right at 15th and Spring Garden, and I had a very successful beauty career, and I went through a spiritual journey where I closed my business down.
Right.
And I really wanted to find, you know, it's more to the story, but the gist of it is that I really wanted to find, you know, more to, you know, who am I? You know, really searching on that path. And so I closed my business down, and then I was asked to come and speak to some students at Dobbins, fashion students, and speak to them about fashion, my experience in the beauty industry, and whatnot. And when I showed up, I was speaking to about, let's say 30 to 40 9th to 12th graders.
Right.
And I came with a full presentation, and I was super excited, and I was like, who wants to be a celebrity fashion stylist? And out of all those students, one student raised their hand, and so I was like, wait a minute. learning a craft and you're not interested in doing it, that's a little odd to me. And the teacher, she looked at me and she said, this is why you're here. And I said, oh, okay. So, I said to the student, I said, wait, clear the decks, I need to know what's going on in here, forget about me. And because I had games, prizes, I had, the whole 9 yards, and they were just looking like, we don't know any of what you're talking about.
Wow.
And so I asked one question to the group, and I said, who are you? And that one question set the room on fire. And the teacher was just looking like, oh my God, you're actually getting them to express themselves. And I spent about an hour and a half just going around the room, allowing each person to express who they felt they were. And the thing that stood out was that many of them didn't even know how to begin to answer that question. And that was a concern for me. I heard everything from, I'm so-and-so and I'm a project kid, and that's what everybody calls me. So, and I'm cool with that. And I had to do positive reinforcement and, let them know, like, who you are is not where you're from.
Right.
My question was, who are you? And so I saw a need, I left that day. They expressed, like, really deep things, and I was just really in awe that, for one, the school was the atmosphere where all this tension was, where all this concern was, you know what I mean? And then for two, that the disconnect was so real. They were not interested in anything that they were learning, and the teacher was awesome. That was an amazing school, So I left and I said, you know what, I'm going to come back. And the teacher said, please. And I spent a year mentoring that group because I had free time.
Yeah.
And the thing is that while I was mentoring them, I was really searching for the next step of who I was.
Right.
And so that kept me coming back. And from that, I'm a Vessel was birthed from that one question, who are you? And me just giving my time and learning a lot about the issues that the city of the youth of Philadelphia was facing. The I Am a Vessel itself came about just, God just placed it on my heart that, when you ask the question, who are you? And they weren't able to answer that, tell them who I say they are. They are vessels. Everyone is a vessel, and that's where the name came from.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, like you said, that you just said I was asking it because Pat Grace was asking it for me. Like, I had no plans to doing it, in terms of that. It's just the workshop I did on Friday afternoon at the lunch, middle school kids. Like, that's like 2 no's you don't do. But the kids were so, I gave the kids a voice. Yeah. Even though I wasn't facilitating, I gave them a voice. I had students come and the kids, I had dialogue with them, And I ain't know the impact it had on me. It had on me a lot. I didn't know until like years later, but helped me see my purpose and give kids a voice, give them a platform to share their views and know who I'm done. At that time, I didn't know who I was as a person. I know who I was in terms of what I was doing, but who am I? Why I'm here? Yeah. You know what I mean? So like I was doing everything else what people telling me to do, but I wasn't following God. So I was following God, but I wasn't following His purpose or what His purpose. Then Pat Graves was born because of that one class, on Friday afternoon class, and that really impacted my life. And I remember that Monday I came back, they were like, "Let's go, close the fun. We didn't come back. We didn't do that with you." Then I knew that was like, look, I had something in place, and then things happened. Got elected to become a nonprofit now, 7+ years later. Now we're doing virtual stuff now. I'm not far we do that. But sometimes when you take a risk on God, because it took me to shut down everything I was doing to find out really line my purpose what I was doing. Like I never
That's
thought.
how it happens.
That's how it happens. Take you from being what you're doing comfortably, doing on a regular basis, to rediscover where you are, work on yourself. That's what I feel. So that's why I felt the pandemic, work on yourself. The past 6 months, work on yourself, and mental health wise, now I'm advocating mental health now. I advocate kids getting therapy. I actually therapy growing up, but I was ashamed to tell people doing that. Yeah. But now I'm telling people, I don't care. Like, go to therapy, please. Like, because a lot of times we carry stuff to adulthood that we don't know that we had to heal from. And we actually bleed on the people we didn't know, because you didn't address that need that you had going through at 14, 13 years old. You bleed on people that want to be in your life because you're not addressing it. So that's why I'm a vessel. Very important because we are vessels here. We are vessels, and we're here to share a gift. You know, and you know,
we are here to share a gift.
Yep.
You know, and that's what that's the core of the program. That's what we teach. We teach that every single individual, I don't care where you come from, where you live, what your background, what your circumstances, if you're homeless on the street, if you're on drugs, if you was on drugs, if you was raped, no matter what it is that you've been through in your life, that'll never change the fact that God created you with a special gift inside of you. And that's the one thing you can always go back to. You can always go, but you can always reset. I heard you talking about reset. You can always reset back to
reset
who God designed you to be,
right.
and that's where you find your restoration at. And so, I'm a Vessel is a restorative effort. It's about restoring the youth and community because it's a full circle. You know, it's a full picture. And so we don't only work with youth, we also work with adults. And our full vision is to help bring restoration and healing and wholeness to community as a whole.
Wonderful. Yeah, and you can also be conscious, stay woke. And so speaking of that, speaking of that, you about to have a book out soon.
Yeah.
And so that you took time to write called Get Woke, the book that every youth and parent needs to have. So can you tell us what's the book about and when it will be out?
Oh man. Well, Get Woke. Get Woke. That's why I wore my bright yellow because I wanted to wake people up. Gotta wake people up. But Get Woke will be out officially October the 3rd is the launch. We're going to have a launch event. You will definitely be invited. Everyone is invited to our launch event.
Is it going to be virtually or in person?
I want to have it in person. So I'm going to have to figure that out. Even if we do it outside, I would like to have it in person.
Okay.
Like an in-person event. But, who knows? We're just going to go with the flow, Get Woke. Get Woke is an introduction to the I Am a Vessel platform. Get Woke is prolific. Get Woke is, so during my journey and really developing the I Am a Vessel platform, it was a very intensive spiritual journey for me personally, where God began to show me many different things and talk to me about many different things. And, he just was like, I want you to write whatever I show you. And I began to write the different things that just would come into my mind. I started researching economics. I started researching science. I started researching all these different fields. I didn't even really know why I was researching this stuff, but I felt led to do it.
Right.
And so I did it. And in researching all of these different elements within society, within culture, I began to just write a book with all the things of how these different elements and aspects affect youth and community. And so many of the things that's in the book, when you get a chance to read it, are really a foreshadow of what's happening now. Literally, there are things in the book that I discuss that I did not know would happen after COVID that I had already written inside the book. And so this book was definitely made to be a tool to help people move forward from what's happening right now, to help give people the language, well, not even people, it's not just for youth, it's for youth and families, because families and parents need to understand that they have to be equipped for all of these changes. To be true leaders with the youth that we have today. So this book is giving them the language, the insight, wisdom, and knowledge that they need to know in order to really move forward in this new world, create structure, strategy, standards, everything that they need to be able to pick themselves up, pick our communities up, and really move forward. So it's for teachers, it's for advocates, it's for schools, it's for, and it's written so easy. It's written to be a youth sustainability manual. So it's not written like a typical book. It's written the way it was given to me, which was just, really talking about core issues and how we address those. And it's really awesome. I mean, it's awesome. The book is going to be available on all platforms. I really want to get it into local bookstores, support our community bookstores, so it's going to be on Amazon. I just finished the final edits. Took me a while. This is my first book, So finishing the final edits, actually maybe 2 nights ago.
Okay.
So now it's going to be ready to be printed, and it'll be available. Well, it's been available for pre-sale on my website.
Right. Okay.
So yeah.
Okay.
Grab that.
Yes. So 2 things. For one, I'm doing August Cafe. So I would love you to speak at last August Cafe of the year in November about your book.
Awesome.
So that's gonna be in person. Depends on the pandemic, and also for Zoom people who are watching.
Mm-hmm.
So a week on Cafe, and also there's a youth conference that October 3rd for teens.
Okay.
So I'm trying to see we can put the flyer out for the youth that come to spread the word about your book, so you can be a launch.
Oh, awesome. Yeah.
So let me know how you want to do this in terms of the launch.
Okay.
I might have a place for you to do it,
Okay.
but I might not be there because of the council that day. So there's really a lot going on. But if it's outside of like afternoon, I will come support. I'm gonna get your book too.
Please, definitely.
Because
definitely.
I want to read it to
support.
yeah, cause I want to read it, and plus I'm have some conversations about our youth about libraries and stuff like that.
Yeah.
You know, in terms of sharing about different books, because my goal is to have like a cafe Black authors books that I collected the past five years.
Mm-hmm.
So my book, like all these books I got like recently was ebooks or actual books, all Black authors, all like local
That's
authors
awesome.
that I know
Mm-hmm.
personally. So again,
that's so important, because I feel like the earth is literally trying to speak.
yeah,
You know what I mean? And so many people have a voice right now. There's too many voices in a lot of ways.
yeah,
But there's a lot of good information that's coming out of this, and with the right insight, and we can either pull out those nuggets, and support those who we know are
doing it.
meant to be doing what
Right.
what the earth is asking for.
You're right, exactly. Because let me get shared out someone else along. So if you've had that one person in your book, your book was a success. It's not focused on the sales way would be great. No time that sell that would be great. But if your book had one person's life, then you really did an awesome job. That's why I always read a book from a Black author. Always give them a review, because the reviews are very important. Because a lot of times we get books, we read it, put it on the shelf. We don't give a review on, because that review got someone who's reading it to get their book. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
We're both fans. So
I love your mindset. It's so awesome. You always bring that positive.
yeah, you got to be positive. Sometimes it's hard. It's hard. You know what I mean? But you got to stay positive and focus on the end goal.
Mm-hmm.
So where can we find you for more information about your book and also about your organization, and also you personally? So.
Oh, okay. Yes, because I do motivational speaking. I did a couple of virtual events this week, so I'm on a roll. I'm on fire. But people can find me. They can find more information about me personally on my personal website. I also have a creative agency, Sina Creative Agency, where we work with community organizations, we work with families, we work with ministries, we work with schools, producing restorative projects and products. We do consulting, to create problem solving, and that's really just been my whole life. As a hairstylist, that's what we do. We don't just do hair. And me in particularly, it's about helping people see things about themselves that they didn't know even existed.
Right.
And that's where the beauty element that threads through everything that I do in my life. Everything that I do. So even with I'm a Vessel, it's about bringing the beauty of education, the beauty of struggle, the beauty of everything. So that's my core life message. So you can find me at www.sina-marie.com. That's more information about the creative projects that I do, the consulting work that I do in terms of creative problem solving, working with nonprofit organizations, women, children, and community is my core focus. And then I'm a Vessel is www.imavessel.org. We currently have 3 workshops that we facilitate, and each of those workshops help youth, young adults, and community put them in a position find out who they were designed to be. And it's a journey, like the whole process, those workshops take people through a journey. We also have learning tools. We have, it's a platform. It's a community. It's many different things. And so you can find out more information on our website there. And then social media. I'm a Vessel. Social media is at I_am_a vessel. That's our IG. And then on Facebook is Vessels of the Future. My email address is the easiest way to get in contact with me. And my email address is very easy. It's SinaMarieCreative@gmail.com. Hit me up. I thought you had this information.
No, sometimes for the audience, you know. No, okay. So for the Instagram, so it's I_am_a vessel.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I was trying to take that one, but I know I wasn't sure which one to click on. So, but now I know right now. So do you have any final words for us? Words of inspiration for youth out there, youth who are trying to be creative like you, and so many years of knowledge and wisdom. Any words of advice to them to that?
Oh man, so many. So always remember that there's beauty in everything, and in that beauty, finding out where the beauty is in every situation, in every circumstance. That's where your power lies. That's by design. It's made that way.
Right.
Love is so much more beautiful when we've been denied it, and then we discover it. And that's the story of the butterfly. That's why that's the symbol of beauty. Because the butterfly goes through hard transition in order to get their wings. And the evidence is that shed its skin. And that's the realization that you transform from one element to another, and that's the beauty in it. Because that's the struggle, but then there's the triumph that comes after, and that's a lot of youth, that's my message for them, the ones that struggle. Another message that I would send out to the youth, anyone who, especially during this COVID, that has lost, that has been sick, ill, anything, is just find the beauty. Find the beauty. That's where the power is. That's where our power lies, because we can't negate that we're going to go through trials and tribulations. That's just a given. That's a given. It's about how, like you said, how we respond and how we get up. There's another thing. I live by I have 4 core things. I think it's 4 core things that I live by, and that's beauty, knowledge, perspective, and it's another one. But those, I talk about that all the time. That is my life's message. And I think that's so important. And in terms of youth that want to be creative, or anybody who's looking to redefine themselves, rediscover themselves, I think it's so important that I talk about this. It's so important that we are sure and we are certain that we are following the path that was given to us. We live in a culture right now where everyone wants to have a message. Everyone wants to, have a business or do certain things. But essentially, some of us are designed to be helpers. Some of us are designed to be organizers. Some of us are designed to be supporters. And it's okay. And I think that, we have to get back to a time where we're using our voice in our life in the manner that we were designed to work the best in, and to make sure that we're using our voices for the message that was given to us through our life journey. And nothing more, nothing less.
That's right. That's exactly right. You got sometimes God does want us like this. He wants you to be a helper. That is like you be a helper or supporter, what you're doing, because it's very, very important that we are supporting one another and do what God's called us to do, because a lot of us have not been called to our business or something like that, because things happen in the universe and God tells you need to do this, because it's not being easy, so that's what's important. But sometimes it's okay to not start a business. It's okay to be what you stay your own lane. You know what I mean? That you fit that you thrive at best at you know. So at the end of the day, it's about being a vessel, like you talking about, being supportive and having that perspective and using your path, your like journey, especially this COVID, just to grow and manifest yourself. A lot of people start businesses out of the blue. I'm like, okay, really not like okay, like, but we're the part work on yourself, to being free, being whole. And all of us try to be, we got to be a part of this, but what about you becoming whole as an individual?
And there's a responsibility that comes with that. I think that's the bigger picture. Is sometimes we can use, and I'm so careful even now to like make sure that I use my words and I'm not speaking out of turn, and because we lead people with things that we may not be called to. Make sure we heard it from, or make sure we don't take that on as our own message, because there's a struggle and a path that came with someone's message. That's where the power is, not in the words and the person it came from.
Right.
And so we have to make sure that we're not leading people with words and ideas and things that don't reflect my struggle, because I can only be effective from the things that I went through.
Right.
And so to talk about beauty for me, and I'm not taking too much time, but talking about beauty for me comes from a struggle from struggling with beauty, my skin tone as a young woman, knowing that I was beautiful, but my community having maybe a different outlook on that. And then it went from that to me growing up in a beauty salon. My grandmother, 50 years in the beauty industry, so I saw women as entrepreneurs, transforming women and being beautiful. But then it also went from that to me opening my first salon at 24, And then so what I mean by my life story has been a thread of beauty, I mean literally every aspect and element of my life has been underlined with beauty, and me having to find the beauty in every single thing and every single moment. So I know that's a message that God has given to me. You understand what I'm saying?
Right.
And that's what I mean, So just making sure that we are responsible for our messages and even the information we get from other people.
That's right.
Yeah.
And they're responsible. Yes. Favorite listeners, that's good. But Mr. Montero, one of the partners on our show, like she's what you just said. I think beauty is about embracing it, embracing it, just being okay with it, being comfortable with yourself, and also being mindful of what you mentioned to people, because you never know how people will take it or use it. So, I'm mindful of doing that. But Sina Washington, thank you so much for our show. Our newest author. So be on the lookout for more information about her book launch October 3rd. I will promote it on the show here, promote the date and time, location where that will be at. I'll spread the word about being on the book, because do you have some more flyers here?
I'll make some more.
So again, thank you for your support. Thank you for those who are on the show. Melissa, thank you so much for getting on the show.
Yes, thank you, Melissa.
Yes. What's your holiday? It's a 3-day weekend. Be safe out here. Enjoy the weather. It's not be hot. Get your kids ready for school next week and just talk to them, have conversations with them, have them stay